I thought this was a pretty good picture of basically just showing a whole lot of how I want to say it. It seems almost biblical, uh, but it seems like like how it was in the past seems like it has led all the way up to what it is today. I don't know from how I look at it, from what I see. I always thought that USA or whatever USA Inc. or America always had its ways of copying or going back to the Roman Empire, but always like ultimately like going to Babylon. And as you see right here, it's just showing a whole lot of, how it was. I mean, because back then when you talk about like Babylon, I want to say it Babylon, was it Sumeria? But if you talking about Babylon, you had Semiramis, Nimrod, and all that. Semiramis, Nimrod, and Cush. You also had Tammuz, and that was leading to this whole thing, to Babylon. And when you look at America today, it's kind of set up in that sense, and it's kind of like, but it's dealing with like Catholicism in a sense, but it has the same like archetype of like Jesus, I think, Father God and Mother Goddess or something of that nature. And it seems like it always goes back to Babylon. When you talk about that construct, you look at, you talk about Egypt, it seems like it goes to Osiris, Isis, and Ra or Horus, or some of that nature, But I was looking at this, and I think it's very interesting when they talk about all this stuff. They got a whole bunch of stuff. They got the fall of Atlantis, the place that was here before, Egypt and all that stuff. It talks about Nimrod right there. It talks about the book of Enoch. If you talk about the book of Enoch, Enoch was one of those, I want to say it was a part of like the, I want to say Orthodox, but it was like part of the original Bible when it comes to the countries over there on the east. I think Enoch was a part of like Eritrean, Ethiopian, and I think that they accepted the book of Enoch over there. But when you bring it to America, they don't accept it. They don't accept it. They dropped a lot of the books, and Enoch was on a higher level than if you're talking about Jesus, or Yeshua, or however you want to say it. But Enoch was on a higher level than Jesus, but they always bring up Jesus here. But yeah, they talk about, it's a lot going on with this one picture right here. It talks about biblical history, and that's what they would call the Sumerians, leading into Babylon and stuff. Yeah, they talk about that, and yeah, the Book of the Dead. I ain't got to that book yet. One of my relatives have that book, but yeah, it shows a lot. It shows, of course, because the pharaohs, Egypt, they taught Rome, and Rome, yeah, and it kept going from there. Rome taught the Catholics and all that stuff, but yeah, I mean, it talks about a lot of stuff on this one little thing alone. It talks about Christianity, Jesus Christ and stuff. talks about the Dark Ages. And a lot of the Romans, a lot of them started off, they was, so-called dark people. They were so-called blacks. And now today, what you see now is, but all that stuff it all starts from way back. It all starts from way back here, and it all trickles down to today, which is what we're dealing with now: the Jesuits, Freemasonry, Illuminati, and the USA. Equivalent to the USA of today. And of course, you're dealing with Luciferianism, with a lot of what's going on. And yeah, this is what I was trying to say right here. This is kind of like the archetype of how they got it. Isis, Horus, equating to like Mary or Jesus of today. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff up in here. You got Lucifer, because Lucifer, if you're talking about the female part of Lucifer, you got these, Isis and all them, Venus. And then when you talk about Satan, you have Sagittarius, Jupiter, I don't know, it's a lot going on this picture alone. And it's difficult to kind of try to explain or talk about a lot of this stuff. First of all, when you're not exactly as knowledgeable into most of this stuff. And then secondly, it's a lot of stuff just scrambled everywhere. But this is a good, it seems like a decent look as far as all of this stuff. But a lot of stuff that has happened in the past, there's nothing new under the sun. So the things that was happening back in the Egyptian days of worshiping multiple gods, idol worship, and a lot of that stuff, you see a lot of that happening today, but it's going through like your entertainers and everything of being worshipped like a god and things of that nature. A lot of that is happening today, and it all trickles back to ancient Babylon. It all trickles back to ancient Egypt, and it has come all the way down to modern day America. And a lot of us don't necessarily see it that way because a lot of us are not taught to kind of look into different things and figure out your own stuff. Try to figure out your own information. Try to dig deep and go further than just what the television is telling us. Because what the television is telling us is not necessarily true. Because if you're talking about like the Bible, like I say, there are a lot of things in the Bible. I mean, it probably holds some truths, but it was written by man, and since it was written by man, it's not complete truth. It doesn't show complete expression, and like I say, because they've taken out certain books, it leads into question as to what was the agenda for when they brought that book out, and when they brought it to the forefront after the wars and everything that took place, afterwards, but it's a lot of stuff up in here, a whole lot of things that are shown on this one little picture alone. But yeah, that's really all I wanted to, talk about. Just showing like how all this stuff trickles down to just this one place as of today. That's it. But that's all I got.